And hello, everybody. Welcome to WD Carousel of Podcast. My name's Crystal.
And I'm Ian.
And today we are going to go over the newest movie released by Disney. Now, due to COVID-19, obviously this was not a theatrical release, but they just released it on Disney Plus. And so we wanted to give you guys a little heads up summary review of Artemis Fowl.
Yes.
This has been one that they've actually been like hyping up for a bit. You know, Artemis Fowl is a mid-grade book series that has a very strong following.
Yes. I am one of it was released right around the perfect time for me. Like it kind of came out. I actually don't think I read the last like two because I kind of aged out of it at that point. Though I might go back and read them again now because I want to, but I loved those books. I thought they were super cool, and they were just a lot of they were really good. Just kind of, you know what I mean? Like they were a great escape book, you know. And they didn't feel like they were talking down to you. They didn't feel like they were, you know. It was just I really enjoyed that series. But we're not a booktube, I guess, so we'll just keep moving.
Yeah. So this isn't about the series, though.
Yeah, this is not about the series.
This is about the movie.
The movie
that we have been looking forward to when it was announced that it was going to be done. We were all very excited in the book world. For those of you who are not familiar, a number of years back, I actually had a booktube channel, so would regularly do reviews of books, and I'm fairly heavily still involved in the book community. So this was when it was rumored that they were going to make one. Everybody was like, "Oh, we're excited!" And when we heard that it was going to be, you know, Judi Dench was going to be inside of it, and Kevin Branagh was going to be directing it, and Colin Firth was going to be, you know, senior, we were ecstatic.
Yes.
And then the movie came out.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just kind of do you want to just
go for it? You
go for it, and then we'll
have at. Okay. I'll make little additions.
Okay. It was a hot mess. I don't know how else to say it. It's 90 minutes of my life that I'm just like not gonna get back at this point, and so I mean, there was a number of things for me that really were a struggle. I'll start with the things that were really a struggle, and then I have a couple of things that I did like, but we'll just start from the bad stuff.
Okay.
Right from the beginning, they kind of just from a plot point, they just kind of they kind of played fast and loose with the existing IP, and it's sort of like they did, you know, there was things that they did in there that I didn't necessarily weren't really bad. Like they kind of played with and moved a couple of characters around. There was some stuff that was okay, but overall they just really they kind of almost made it like a prequel to like where I would imagine the book starting. And again, I haven't read the books in so long that it feels like I'm probably not totally correct there.
But they did not take book 1 or 2 at all. This is a completely separate plot.
Right. They kind of went prior to all of that, sort of. And I know that they basically wanted to create a series, and to pitch the series, they made a movie that nobody really wanted. Is kind of what I mean. This is all me, obviously.
It feels like Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which was another series that is a book series, a mid-grade book series that they had done, and they did okay on the first movie. The second one, but this one feels like they were trying to do another Percy Jackson and failed.
Yeah, it was written. Okay, I think this is going to be like my biggest distillation that I can do.
Okay.
Is I'm like ready. It was written like a bad DCOM, not a good DCOM. It was written like a bad DCOM with the budget of a big budget film. 100%. And it made no sense. And so you would get like, and obviously we can go into our breakdowns, but like that's kind of for me like overall what it felt like. And I don't even want to go into the plot line because it's hard to even like break that down.
I was watching this with a friend of mine who had no experience with Artemis Fowl, and I had to keep stopping and explaining what the heck was going on and who that character was. And it's different. Like Josh Gad's character is one of my favorite. Okay,
Yeah, I know. Do we want to just go into the breakdown and talk about each of those things?
It.
Okay, let's do this. We're so ready to just rip this thing apart. Okay. Sorry.
Now you understand why I was like, we need to review this movie.
We need to review this movie. So starting from a visual technical standpoint, honestly, this was the only thing that I didn't absolutely despise, because I thought that it was kind of neat to see an artistic rendering, like a visualization of that world. I thought that didn't suck.
It wasn't DCOM level. It was, I mean, it wasn't high end, theater level, CGI but it was, quality, but it wasn't DCOM level either.
Yeah, it felt pretty like the world had some like real vibe to it. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the way that the Fowl manor looked on the outside. I don't know why. Like something about it felt kind of weirdly fake to me, but everything else, like it really, like the effects, the characters, like Horsey, like his like animation was kind of interesting.
That's the only good thing about him. Okay, moving on.
I know. And then moving on to like just visually, sound, like it was fine. I don't remember being like the score being anything special. No. It had kind of like a little Irishy flair to it.
I mean, it blended in okay.
Yeah,
the storyline.
It didn't stand out. Yeah, it was.
So it wasn't like
bad.
Horrific, but it also was not good. It was mediocre.
It was just kind of flew down the middle, which for this movie is actually high praise. So whatever.
Okay, so the plot.
Yeah. So plot.
Oh, the plot. We're talking about
what plot?
Trying to introduce to. This is a movie that was supposed to be set up to introduce people who are not familiar with the series to the characters and the world that is Artemis Fowl. And first and foremost, they were getting characters wrong. Butler.
Yeah.
Huge thing. So you don't find out his real name until you hit the 5th book in the series, but they like introduce him in this movie as if you never call him Butler. How dare you call him Butler? And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like, it's not even like it's just like they omit or it's not correct. It's like actively opposite. Or they go opposite for no reason. Like it's like they took and I don't know like what the writing team was and when it was written and like what that was all about.
Okay, so this was directed by Kenneth Branagh. So he's
bad Lockhart. Sorry.
See, I just know him primarily through a lot of Shakespeare because, again,
nerd. Yes, he was the Hamlet stuff. Yeah, that was a good movie, but anyway.
His life goal is to remake every play that the Bard has ever made in movie form.
Yes. Yeah.
So he has such high ordeals and thoughts of himself, and then he comes out with this.
He comes out with this. I know. So, that was the thing when I saw his name at the end, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So they're trying to introduce the characters, and then they have this plot point of they have to go retrieve the Oculus, and then there's this kidnapping that happens, but then, you never find out who it is and what's going on, and there's weird voices and it's like, so confusing.
And like, and the
regular stories, I mean, are not straightforward.
No, they're not. But like,
this is
weird. Like
this is a drug trip.
There was sort of like a lack of,
but for 5-year-olds.
There was like an active lack of story. Like, it didn't make any sense. So you've got this thing you're supposed to get, but no one knows where it is, but we don't know who sides on who. Like, there's both like, is he a thief? Is like, and oh god, I don't even know how to even start with this. Like,
we're just gonna move on and say that's just chaos. Don't expect
the storyline,
linear storyline.
Yeah,
you don't even really know other than the occasion like hint who the antagonist might be? ?
I was like,
but they're not really part of it.
I knew and I perpetually was like, because I remembered the books, and I'm like, is that who I think it is? Because it's not obvious. Like, I don't know why. Like, it didn't make any sense, and it didn't feel like a accurate depiction of that character as I remember her. Anyway, so yeah, bad story, bad. Yeah. So
if I were Colin Firth, I'd be happy that I was playing senior and like not really involved at all.
Yeah, he honestly did fine. Well, that ties really well into our acting and casting
Yes.
breakdown, because he was fine. Like, there was nothing. He didn't do a whole lot, so he
He's
just
the
kind of
only
like
one that was
he just
okay.
kind of he did fine. Like, it was fine. And really, and the craziest thing about this is I love all of the actors involved with this show, which makes it all the more
Same.
tragic. So, what should we just start with Dame Judi Dench? Should we just start there and move on from there? Because I'm sure you have
What
things to
was
say about
her
Mulch Diggums.
raspiness all about?
I know. Well, she's not the only one that had a raspy problem,
I
but we'll
know, but
start
she
with her.
sounded like a 70-year smoker.
I know. Oh, it was terrible. I mean, like, it was this like fake rasp to try to create this maybe like a sense of like otherworldly, like, she's from a different kind of world, sort of, just the fairy
but none
world,
of
whatever.
the other characters in that world
did that.
had that.
No, and like,
none
maybe
of
they
the
were trying to say like,
since
she's like 800 years old, she's an elder. Like, I whatever. Either way,
years of smoking, guys. I got a lot going on in there.
Right. Right. It wasn't like a good like character. It didn't feel like a character choice. It felt like I kept wanting to clear my throat. Like, that's what it did for me. And that ties back over to Mr. Josh Gad, who that was another one where I was like that. And then he did the narration.
Breathe it out.
The whole time.
Yes, he did.
He narrated the whole thing, and he does not have a low, raspy voice.
No.
And I just like maybe he would have been fine, like, in his portrayal of Mulch Diggums with more of like, because he could have done more of like a more standard Josh Gad vibe,
and
I would have been more
divide himself from the other characters that he has played before within the Disney scope, but I mean, they didn't like with Diggums themselves. They did not explain what he is there for. Like, my favorite part of Diggums is that he eats dirt and poops it out behind him. I mean, let's be. They don't even like tell you that. You see him open his mouth manually with his fingers to make it bigger, and then you see his pants pulled down, and he's wearing the cartoon white
bloomers
with hearts on it, and you see like a dirt cloud, but you don't understand what's going on, and they never explain it. So literally he just looks like he's mooning everybody.
So the only other reference to it that I heard was early, because I was actually not sure of what they were gonna do to address that, because it is sort of like a very like weirdly like crude thing that happens in this book a lot. It's a major plot point for him. And the thing that they did mention it when he was in that weird like prison moment for a second there. The goblin said, "Oh, but you're a digger. Just don't stand behind you." Like, and like and then there was like this laugh, and it was almost like they were fan serving, but I was already so mad that it didn't make any difference. Like, they went through these moments of like trying to be like basic explaining, but like it didn't make any sense, or they were fan serving and the fans already just like were having none of it. Like, it was like it didn't know who that was trying to wink at. It was supposed to be a wink, but none of it made any sense. And I just
the wink that didn't happen was horsey. All the bad puns and the whinnies that happened out of nowhere. No. You are a centaur. You are respectable. You're not just going to whinny out of the blue.
Yeah.
And then Butler. Do you think... so they made the choice to make Butler black.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. Fine. It's a character choice.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're, including them. But you also decided not to use the character's name of Butler, and you were adamant about that. Was that decision because you chose a black actor and do not want to look like you're being one of those...
you're pushing,
production companies that are only casting black actors for subservient roles?
Right.
If that was going to be the case, because none of the characters were actually explained color-wise or race-wise in the series.
No, they never were.
Because it doesn't need to happen. Then why not make Artemis black and keep Butler, but white or Asian? I don't care. But why did you have to change him?
And then because you did that, you went, "Ooh, wait, we did that. We got to pivot. Like they had to like push so hard to try to be like proving.
It was the couch going up the stairwell again.
Yes. It was. You're right. Absolutely. Like it's like if you really wanted to play that card, make the Fowls black. Like do that instead. Yeah. No, I agree. Like it's like they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, and instead they kind of tarnished the story. They tarnished the character. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It did not work.
And the acting that they did with him was very one level, very one noted. And that was really disappointing.
Honestly, I actually liked the actor.
Yeah.
I wish that he would have had more to do. Like I wish he would have had more that they could have given.
Give him more range.
They had these moments that were they had these moments that were like, oh, I like enjoy you when you're doing something like these. Like I enjoy these people. I wish that they had material that made me feel like that they were more than one dimensional. Like you never got connected enough to any one person to feel like it was anything. It just felt like a really bad pilot episode. Like there was just nothing. It absolutely boggled my brain. And I actually really liked the only character that I feel like I kind of enjoyed was Holly.
Holly, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, her spunk came through, her determination came through,
and also kind of her just general likableness.
Yeah,
was kind of there, and that the actress I think was really, really well cast.
That was a smart choice.
Yeah, she just really worked. I enjoyed that.
Unlike Junior. Artemis Fowl Jr.
So
I love how we both said that. Jinx. In the book series, especially the first couple books, he is not a good guy.
No.
He is not a good character. You do not understand why you're following this kid around who's just mean.
Yes. He's very broken. Like he's a very broken person, and like they just didn't want to go there because he was 12, I guess.
Trying to portray it with him being at the therapist's office when he was talking about, I know so much more than you know that as a reproduction they wouldn't have had those kinds of tacks on a chair and the queen's whatever.
Right.
But he was not horrible. I'm not going to say he was like likable, but you kind of understood where he was coming from during the movie, which is completely different to the series.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the character to me felt bizarre. Like it just, the character, I mean, he's so flat. He's so stone cold. He feels like, and he acts very much like an adult. Like that's like in the books, like he's got this very like analytical thinking 5 steps ahead. I don't show anything, and in the moments of words of emotion are very impactful because of that. And I feel like that the actor, that could have been directed, that could have been done. And I feel like a lot of it was either in the direction or the writing that let those moments happen.
I also think like when he went up to Holly when she was in the cage and he took off his glasses. He was trying for that intenseness and it failed. Like, whoa.
I know what you're saying. So it was supposed to be like a moment. It was supposed to be like an impactful storyline cornerstone.
It was empty.
Yeah, there was nothing. That was definitely like, that was the whole thing for me, was the whole show had moments that were like, I'm like, I feel like that was supposed to be something that we were supposed to feel. You know what I mean? Like the entire show just kind of like moved past me without me really getting on board, without me really like latching on and moving along with it emotionally.
Side note.
It just,
this is the first time I've ever found Josh Gad semi-attractive. You know my type. Good. And once he is like in front of the vault and he's dirty and all of his hair, and it's the first time I've ever seen Josh Gad semi-attractive. I was like, oh, okay. Look at you. Yeah, you can look like masculine. Okay, sorry, that was a little pushing it.
That's rough. I mean, like, yeah.
That was like the only like moment in the entire dang thing. in the entire thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Nerd random stuff is like
there's nothing.
Not existent.
I didn't do a lot of digging on this. I mean, really, truly,
no.
I felt like the other thing with these stories, just like kind of if we're wrapping back into our main rant here, I think that a lot of these stories, like as I remember them, and I am going to go back and I have decided now I'm going to go back and read or listen to these because I remember loving them and I want to remember them and try to figure out how to separate it away from this.
This tarnished the taste in your mouth so badly, you need to refresh the palate.
Yes. I remember really enjoying the character of Horsey, and I actually liked visually what they did, and I think that the actor could have been really good. And they just again, I think it comes down to the writing. It's like just bizarre. Yeah, super bizarre. It's like because it's like the other thing too. Did you notice that this could fall under nerd random stuff? Just me as a post-production guy, I noticed that a lot of the time they were able to frame him so you were seeing him head on or high up,
so you didn't have to do the CGI for his legs.
That is, they didn't have to build a horse for a lot of it.
And save money.
And it's saving the money. And I found that to be so money, like
better Horsey.
Okay. To me, literally, it seems like that those like winning and bits were all done to push,
remind
you that he's a centaur. Like legitimately, like I feel like that they made so many concessions to try to like make a point, like we were talking about with they wanted Butler, the character, to be a person of color. So they did that. But then they wanted to be like, oh, wait, we got to make sure that we're cool with this though, right? Everyone's cool. And then they like kind of like tarnished or mired up the character in trying to save face on that instead of doing it a better way just to begin with.
Yeah.
Then they did that with Horsey, where they didn't want to make this centaur always like they wanted to make him a cost-effective centaur, right? So what can we do?
Centaur that saves money.
Right. So instead of like making like Horsey this like very integral character who's a lot of fun and just very deeply kind of enjoyable in a OU kind of way, they just kind of removed a lot of his characterization and made him like make weird centaur noises, but I don't even know what that means.
What is a centaur noise? I mean,
right.
Really.
They have a person head. Like what? You know, so they did stuff to try to like make sure that like it was like they wanted when they ran it through theater tests, they kept like looking at the wrong things that people were confused by and kept making weird decisions. Yeah, I just
100%. I agree.
Did you by any chance, after I watched it, did you by any chance look up its percentage in Rotten Tomatoes?
No.
I did.
Should I do that real quick, or did you do it?
Do you want to make a guess? Because I have it. I know what it is.
And Rotten Tomatoes is 100%, right?
100%. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it's at 43.
It is 9%, Crystal. 9 single digits. I'm like, wow. So I guess I know.
I had to move my mouth and like turn my head and cover the microphone away. Oh Lord!
9% on Rotten Tomatoes. There are very few that I'm aware of that are that low. I see like
I think the
30
room was better.
Yeah, probably. God, like that is atrocious, and that's kind of the thing. It's like Disney like can give you like a 60 to 80% film a lot. Like they don't always have like a killer like 90% movie, but it's very, very unusual that they flop this badly because it doesn't have any of the charm of a lower budget picture because it should have known better. And it was kind of like a get what you pay for thing. Like it was weird. Like it was something that should have been high budget. Like you were expecting a near theatrical release because that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, this was supposed to be released in theaters.
Like, oh my God, I can't imagine how mad I would have been if I would have seen this in a movie theater.
How much money would Disney have lost on this?
God.
I mean, actually, okay, so COVID saved them this one.
They did. Seriously, they need to thank COVID for this one because they just really screwed it up. So as we kind of roll back around, I don't think
at my favorite DCOM, which is Descendants, to see if I can find their Rotten Tomatoes score to compare DCOM.
I'm gonna bet you that's in like the high 50s or low 60s. Is my guess if you can find it, because it's got kind of a cult following, and they made a lot of them. So
true.
I suspect
that's true.
And because cult following can make it, because a lot of times you'll get like a critics percentage on the Tomatoometer, then you'll get like an audience rating, and sometimes those can have a discrepancy. So it might be that it gets a low one from the critics, and then people will give it like a 70. That can happen quite a bit. But
I mean, I was expecting, this one, Artemis to be less than 50, definitely. Yeah. But 9%. Holy buckets.
Yeah, that is tragic, and it is so sad to see actors that I actually like
Dame
being
Judi
stuck
Dench.
in a
Oof.
Oh god. And you know what movie she was just in too? Her last movie was Cats. So we need to hook a lady up.
She's not doing good right now, is she?
Hook a dame up, you guys. Come on.
Okay, so Descendants on the tomato meter is at 90%, and audience score is at 67.
No way, it's backwards. What I was thinking. That's crazy.
So drop the 0.
Yeah, then you're. Oh my god, that is crazy. That is actually, it's like a 10th.
That is funny. Okay.
A 10th of the,
So our rating on this one, I'm not even gonna put it in a streaming or no, just don't waste the time. Don't do it.
I might, I might do like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing of it. That might be okay. Like I might try that. It is almost like a weird Cats level, so bad that I don't even know how a studio like Disney could have even thought that they were going to release it. I'm just shocked.
I have no idea.
Shocked by this movie, and it absolutely kills me because it was a book series so near and dear to my heart. It was squarely,
it's such a following.
Squarely, right? It was squarely in my childhood. What? Okay. Anyway,
this could be Harry Potter.
It could be.
It could be Harry Potter level.
They could have,
if they had the correct production level.
Yeah, they totally missed the boat on world building and story writing. They just missed it.
Yeah.
And because they plan to make it a full series.
And if they make another one, that's money for it. I don't see Disney opening their pocketbooks anymore regarding this series.
Unless they kind of do a redo and they're like, we're going to start at book 1. We're just going to try this all again with new everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine it doing that well. I really can't.
Neither can I.
Oof. Well,
okay,
anyway,
so
gang.
we've ranted enough on this one. That has been Artemis Fowl. Stay as far away as you can because, as the name says, it is foul.
Foul.
But This has been WD Carousel of Podcast. My name's Crystal.
And I'm Ian.
And we hope you have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye, everybody.